Like I say, it took me a long time to figure out a jet engine. I mean, you know me from like the LS Titanic. You just ask around; they'll tell you it was the LS Titanic or LC Titanic. Um, the engines, Star Steam engines, Star Steam factories, water textiles, and all that other stuff. So, I was already a pretty big name in design and everything. LS Lucifer Star. So I was trying to figure out how to create a jet engine. I mean, the idea of using a pressure wave, a pressure spot to create a jet engine, because when you think about it, as the air is coming through the jet engine, it's like, how is it going to compress? And I thought about all kinds of stuff, like using blades that would grab more air, and then using blades that would grab less air. So the blades in front would tend to push air into this and then using like a big void, like so it goes down into a void and then it comes back up and then it goes over, and then you have like some jet engine what's it called, fins that are less angled, going around, around, around. So this one grabs more air, and then that one would tend to restrict the air more, and then maybe that would create like this pressure zone basically. And then by going wide and then going back up and then going into these other louvers which are less angled and have smaller gaps, whereas these other ones would have more bigger gaps, and maybe that would create like this pressure area, and then if you just put fuel in, maybe that would go out the back. But the question is, what stops it from going out the front? And anyway, though, but the whole point is about the jet engine. Like I said, what we actually did though is we actually built a test, and then you could actually see it in the videos if you look. I had a couple different ideas. I was like, maybe like this, maybe like that, and maybe like this, and I was like, because it's really a hard thing. It's like, because the theory is easy, of a jet engine. And I was thinking about what's going to make it stop it. I was like, oh wait a minute, but then the air coming in is going to be more, and then maybe three or four sets of fins, so it really gets like you do three sets of fins and then one set of fins or something like that. I was just passing my ideas by. I was like, what would do it? What would do it? What would do it? And like I say, it took me at least a month or two, or a week. It took me like 2 weeks working on the idea, and I kept working on it, kept thinking about it, and I drew out some things on some pieces of paper, and I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about it. I mean, I'd already invented the gasoline engine, the ring and pinion, and the chain drive, and the chainsaw, and invented all these things. Like I say, when you're a leader, when you're someone who creates life forms, that someone that is leader, someone who owns a country, you invent for your people. Now, most inventions are already done, but I was going back to the beginning. So, I mean, I was doing it from the beginning. So, anyway, though, but like I said before, I had invented jet engines. They didn't exist. Like everyone knows, oh, compressor jet engines, but no one had ever done a jet engine before. Before me. I mean, it's a theory. Like I said, if you go back 50 or 80 years, people will be like, or 100 years, people will be like, what jets? What's a jet? What do you mean a compressor? What are you talking about? Like if you go back a ways, a lot of people wouldn't know what you're talking about, because, and most people, if you told them what a jet engine was, they'd be like, "Are you nuts? How's that going to work, McFly? How's that going to work?" Like they're going to look at you like you're crazy. But you've seen jet engines and you know they work. So, and most people would be like, "I'm not gonna. Who would invest in that? Who would even think that would work? It can't work. It would never work." Anyway, though, so like I said, anyway, I had a couple different ideas about how to do it, and like maybe a bigger tube going down smaller. I was like, oh, a cone. I had a couple different ideas about this, and like I said, I just paid them until they got it right. In the end, I just paid them until they got it right. But I was like, this is my idea. I think it's going to work. And like I said, with the Titanic and everything else, I'd already known, and plus, like I said, the biggest thing was the the titanium, telling them that you had to get the particles really fucking hot, up to 50,000 degrees, and then what you get is actual gold. Like I said, you can turn granite stone into gold. We were mining that valley, and that valley, all it had was granite stone. It didn't have anything particularly awesome or amazing. All it had was just normal granite stone and normal ore. You know, people were looking. They're like, "Where's the gold mine? Where's the gold mine?" In the Mirage, and that was the whole point of the Mirage Dam, is that we were getting substantial quantities of gold out of that mine and substantial quantities of titanium and other alloys out of the Mirage's dam. And people are like, "Where's the gold mine?" And it's like, there is no gold mine. It's the smelter. We heat it up to 50,000 degrees, and it recombines into gold. When you get up to insane temperatures like 50,000 degrees, the molecules will recombine into new combinations like titanium and gold. That's why they say aluminum takes so much energy. But you're not just getting aluminum. You're getting lots of stuff. And what you do is you just take the rock and you just go bloop, 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 and what you get is gold, titanium, and all these other alloys. Oh yeah, and like I say, you also get uranium. Or, uranium something or other. The uranium always goes down to the bottom. Like I said, what you get is you get gold about midway or something. And then the very bottom layer is uranium. So your vial, your container will start to coat with uranium. And what you do, like I say, you use asbestos and ceramic fibers. Asbestos and ceramic. And that is how you get the vial. And then it'll sustain temperatures of up to 50,000 degrees, like 15 to 50,000 degrees. And that's where the magic happens. Anyway, and then like I say, you will get gold for days. You can take granite rock and turn it into gold. That's why from the Three Gorges mine. But like I say, if you have, it's just what's called thing. We were using the stream to cool the wire because the container was over here and the generators were over here. There's some reason why the container couldn't be next to the generators. Like I don't know. Oh, I know why. The heat. See, the heat from the that's right. We need to have the generators on this side of the river and the container on that side of the river because the heat would back up down the cord, down the wire, and they would go all the way back to the generator. The 50,000 degrees would start to back up to the generator, and then the generator would start to heat up from that because you're running a direct current right to it. So we were using the stream. We put the tantalum titanium wire into the stream, and the stream was just because the electricity is going this way and the heat was backing up down the cord. So it's a matter of we're pushing power this way from the generators, and the heat from the vial, because we're working at 50,000 degrees or 15,000 degrees in the vial, and the heat comes back down and goes back down, and we're using the river because the river was just from all the heat, because the heat is different, and then we were having the grounding rod go right down here, so basically the heat was backing up the electricity, the electric whatever was going this way, and then the heat was backing up that way, and so there's no way to do it. You can't have. It's just the way it is. Anyway, and the wiring on the generators, like, it was really awesome. The wires were like glowing hot. Like, you could just at nighttime you could just see this. It was this dull glow off the generators. It was so fucking cool. I was like, yeah. Sorry, I get a little excited about it because it was the first time. It was like the most extreme smelting ever. I don't know if they still do it, but yeah, we were getting as much gold as we wanted. Granite stone into gold. And more because it combines. It makes more.